What up, my nigga?
63% of men under 30 are single, and more than half of them aren't even trying to date. Why do you think that is? What do you think the root cause of that is?
And I feel like a lot of younger men that are single, that aren't even trying, they don't want to dedicate the time. They want to build their business. They want to make it to the gym. They want to travel. They want to do it. And you know what? Finding a real relationship is work. It's not that they can't get dates. It's that they can't get the right ones.
The truth is very simple, but the situation is very complex. The reason 80% of men under 30 do not want to pursue women is because it's a complete waste of time and energy. There's a concept called hoflation. Men have to work way harder than men of the past to get a woman that's not even as half as good as a woman from the past. Most of the women aren't built to be wives. Most of them bring nothing to the table except baggage. That baggage can be trauma, kids, debt, and etc. They'll bring all that into your life, add a stress to your life, and expect you to provide for them, all while they give you no value outside of intimacy. I can really keep going, but we have more clips.
There was a study called from the Pew Center Research conducted a study that said 63% of men under age 30 would rather stay home and watch porn than go on a date. Men say they are getting their needs met without having to go on a date. Would men rather stay single than be with a woman is the question.
That's what they're saying, pretty much.
63% of men.
I think they're cheap.
Yeah, they just ain't got no money.
They don't have money, which you should get your money up before you start dating. So it is cheaper to sit home and beat your meat than actually go out and find actual women to hang out with.
That's a sad reality.
I disagree.
Why? What do you think?
Is it less of a headache to have to deal with a woman or something?
There it goes. Like, it's a headache. Now I got to take you out. I got to hear what you had to tell your whole day.
That's why you take out people you actually like, and then you don't feel that.
Yeah, but then I got to get to know you first to like you, right?
Yeah.
So how do I get to know you?
Call on the
phone. So you rather hand?
Hey, listen, I'm married.
You always gotta say.
Okay, so
if you wasn't married,
I'd probably beat him. I mean, 100 miles an hour.
Let's break this clip down. So the first woman boils this whole issue down to men being broke. Even if we pretend that's true, that still doesn't negate the fact that a good portion of these women are just not likable individuals. It also doesn't negate that most modern women have a high level of entitlement. You're out of your mind if you think rich men don't have girl problems. But that aside, if it really comes down to just money, what separates the modern woman from a prostitute? I'll wait. The second thing that's overlooked, if these men would rather beat their meat than go on dates with these women, does that mean that these women have no other value to most of these guys outside of intercourse? Does that re-highlight a point that I just made about most modern women not being likable individuals? Really think about it. A guy isn't going to play basketball by himself instead of going to the basketball court and being social with all those guys. A man isn't going to turn on a YouTube video of a vacation location and be satisfied with that enough to where he doesn't even want to take the trip to Angola or Turks. So ask yourself, what has happened with the average man's experience with a woman to the point he won't even feed into his primal urges for sex and go embrace the experience of a few dates? Modern women have ruined the experience so much that men don't even want to indulge.
To themselves, but as a man, right? Like, let's say this woman makes 40K a year. He'd be like, would you date a man that made 40K a year? Let's say this woman said that she didn't work out. He would be like, oh, would you date a man that didn't work out? And these women would be like, no, like, absolutely, I would not date a man that only made 40K a year. Absolutely, I would not date a man that, like, didn't work out. And he was sort of saying that in this sense, most women are entitled and lack accountability the way that incels do. I have many thoughts on this. By to date now, it's apparent to me that I'm not quite there yet because my shortcomings are mirrored to me in the shortcomings of those that I attract. And I don't think that I'm an incel because I recognize this disparity, right? There are people on my level, so to speak, that I could absolutely canoodle with, but I don't want to canoodle with people on my level. I want to canoodle with people above my level. Thus, I must raise my own level or see the disparity and lower my expectations. I don't think that I'm that type B, but I'm currently sleeping in a bed that's infested with bed bugs, and I'm really struggling to care as much as I feel like I should. Like, my whole hostel is having a bed bug.
Okay, so I just saw a post out here on TikTok land that stated that 80% of men no longer desire to date. 80%, that's closer to 100%. Okay, and I would say to go out and research it on your own to find out if in fact it is true. My question then is posed to women. What do you do with that? Because even though 80% of men no longer desire to date, do they also no longer desire to have sex? Because and a woman's responsibility to protect her honor in terms of having sex. Now, as for me, I'm at the age where I don't care. Okay, because I don't have to date, I don't have to be in a relationship. But there are women out here who are still in their childbearing age, and they may want to marry, they may want to be in a relationship, right? They may want to date. My question is posed to those women. What do you do with that information? Because remember, just because they no longer desire to date doesn't mean that they don't have a desire to still have sex.
All men that aren't asexual have a desire to have sex. The thing is, when we look at that other 20% of men, that's where 80% of the women are getting their sex from. The majority of men are invisible to most women. So when women hear this, they think the Tyrone or Chad they're lusting over or the Pookie that they're smashing is done dealing with women. That's not the case. The thing is, most women don't understand that they aren't qualified to be the wife of the guys they're messing with in the top 20%. Some of those guys don't even want wives. They're just running through chicks. But women aren't aware of these dynamics, so the problem will persist.
I don't think men like women anymore. I don't think that men desire us women anymore, us real women. I don't think that they value us like they used to.
I love the game that we play. Here's our top comments from the video. I get clingier when I'm happily cheating. Diabolical. Fellas, this one gonna make you mad. I even made him cry for not trusting me. This one gotta be a troll, cause she talking about I told him we could keep money every month in a joint account, and if someone cheats, the other will take the money. Meanwhile, I was cheating. I had confidence in my cheating skills. This the best one. If you've ever been cheated on and or just had somebody play in your face, they always pull this card. I even cried when he accused me of cheating. 11,000 likes. I'm going to tell you, if you go to that comment section and you look through it before you go to the gym, I promise you, you will have the best pump of your life.